Einaste klattarpunkt av ett ser på det,
So, I don't know guys if you have heard anything of what I've said so far. It was a little bit of a hassle to set up everything today. Excuses, but not the first time it went like that, but yes, here we are. The smoke direction is not really favorable for us today, but I don't know if it's ever here in Ahvenisto because this is like in a valley, and now the wind is blowing basically from the track towards myself, so if we take this loop, it's smoke. Hopefully the wind would come up a little bit. Honey banging some wheels there at the wall. We're having another go. Okay, we're tightening the cycle now. Okay, I was just late. I was just late because it was the guys waiting for the cool down lap. Now it is one more time over the second round of these driver starts in Group A. It is Simon Olsen and Juha Pöytälakso who starting the whole session. They're taking a proper tandem now. I guess they are now sending them like one after each other, so they get some more runs in, I think. Fixing it on the fly sounds familiar to me. Let's see, this camera is still dead. Some debris somewhere, or what are we waiting for? We're not waiting for much more. So now it's Ville Kaukonen and Kristiina Aalto. They are good friends and competitors as well. Well, I have 4 cameras and I kind of had to places where I absolutely need to have the camera, and then I sacrifice this camera to be the start line camera. And unfortunately now the most important camera there at the corner keeps failing, despite I already ran once before this, or right when this session started, to try to fix it, but obviously it's not fixed now. But during the break at latest I will try to figure out something, because I think that that corner is really important to see, so that's where we sit right now with all of this. So Ville Kaukonen and Kristiina Aalto now the other way around. Chris in the lead and Ville in the chase. Just trying to see what's there in the truck. Not sure. Okay, now they go. To see some proper tandem runs already in this phase of the practice. Enver Haskasap is there. Is he gonna do a solo run? Maybe. Chris Alva is now besides him, but then again, I think this is now really a little bit problematic for the flow of this session. I don't know if they can come up with like a better order or solution. The problem is that there's not that many places where you can kind of take the cars aside, like all of that backside loop there for the first corner, all of that loop, there's no exit there, only after the loop, and you cannot drive this track backwards. I don't know if that's a good idea anyway, but maybe they will figure something out. I'm not an expert in any of this, so I'm not gonna give any instructions. Okay, I'm gonna check the volumes a little bit. Cars for you guys, right? It's also really great. I have start line camera that's not making any sound at all in the mixer, and then oh, here we are. Roman is not driving here today because he's not. The car was just on the display there. It's lots of Red Bull stuff there in the parade yesterday, so for the exhibition. Unfortunately, I would have somewhere I would starting to get a feeling that we are not going to have a record number of practice runs per day or per session for the drivers today.
Ai sitten itse asiassa se on pinti. Se on pinti tässä. Okay, track is ready to landing. Kone. Joo, se on varma.
Let's see if there was a contact with that blue line. At least there was a couple of proximity there already. You're doing this rear bumper already. Okay guys, landing still around. Max's car straightened a little bit and therefore
saatanasti nyt karttia. No niin, no vähän väärässä paikassa.
Start lines, I guess. That was it. Hopefully it is just cosmetic. Now so confusing. I'm gonna stop speculating what is what. I'll just additional value.
Tuolla on keiloja. On kaksi samalla. Number one stop. We have one cone to the point one.
Right, first press the button and then after 1 second speaking, okay?
Okay. We all take one cone to the point one. Vielä. 2 metriähän se laittoi sen.
Okay.
Kaksi askelta, yksi siihen. Pykälä takas. Ne.
Okay, on va quitte cette construction comme c'est. czekamy na trasie, jest słupek, a ja mam tutaj...
Number 1 is ready. Onko se siinä? Teki näin.
Marciu, przerzucę ją przez armatywę i zawaliłem trasę. Co się dzieje? Ma wycie koleją, wycie koleją. Poczekaj chwilę, cofamy ją przed Warna i zawaliła trasę. Tak, ja czekam, zapraszam.
Practice seems to go in waves. We see lots of actions and lots of stuff happening. Then we have these breaks where there's had a slight touch on the wall outside the camera. Very possible because of the tires. The left tire is probably gone after the runs. I need to also do some investigation in the paddock, like how worn out the tires actually are after the run. I also think that some of the drivers will actually run some tire in these first ones, like if they have any left from like last race. Another green car in the this angle. I'm always confused about that white car that is driving that car, but it's just parked there. All back. Very end. Let's see if there was a jump. The start line was there like something like that. Let's put it this way. I think now it's going to be time for a break.
We can check the track now.
3 minutes.
Any dangerous parts or making?
their cars in the lineup as early as possible. Obviously, it's mechanics that do that. It is because if you're lucky and you're the first, you might get that one extra lap. Of course, it depends on how the practice session is going. All of those affect to the side of the cars. There's no guaranteed amount of practice runs to anybody, so it's kind of fine a little bit for those. Interesting to know what does all of these receivers say. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The camera woke up. Hey, miracles can happen. Just need to change two leads here to be in the correct order so that I'm messing up changing the cameras that much. So, the best news of the day. We have the start line camera, we have the front straight camera, we have the quarter camera, and then we will continue with this dynamic camera for the rest of the track. Now, everybody there at home, keep please fingers crossed that it will work for the rest of the session and the rest of the weekend, of course, or even the season. Okay, no time for comments. I'm now, at least for a bit, I'm super happy. So, just the mic to, okay, now I put my speech down too much. Can you hear me now? Better? Yes. So, if somebody didn't hear it, this camera is working now, yes. Also having... Okay, I had the stream also open in my mobile phone, so I heard myself. So, I know now factually that we are... I'm gonna keep this camera now up because we have missed it so much. No, not really. So we are. I will keep this picture on here so you will see among the other first people in the stream that who will be next there. Sorry. Yeah, that was Lucas, Mr. Bandana there. Where he is? Where are you? There. He was complaining about the track being too... Yeah, I know. I agree. 100%. Yes, he's complaining about the miss of the jump. Yeah, you need some. Oh my god, it's so much good people around here in Driftmasters, and I think we have some sort of a sighting lab going on here. And of course, by the way, I have my face camera here as well. Hello everybody. I hope you're all doing really well and you are enjoying the weekend as much as I am in here. It is, yeah, despite all of the stuff that happened, it's been so nice. Yesterday was so much fun in the castle park, and also this is the day 18, I believe, of doing Driftmasters live streams. Still waiting for the Red Bull to call me. Okay. Let's not over exaggerate things. Just so happy about this camera. Is it still working? Okay. We're seeing some dark clouds here. I hope they are not containing any water in them. So we're back in action very soon. Oliver Randalu, Marko Sakoril. But the good thing is now when we got a little bit of those clouds, it started to be a little bit more windy, which means that we're probably a little bit better with the smoke. So, Marko Sakoril in the lead, Oliver Randalu in the chase, and here we go. And the next pair of cars will be Kevin Piskolti and Jarkko Jylhä. So we have Kevin Piskolti in the lead, Jarkko Jylhä in the chase, and it seems now that they have found out the way to circulate the drivers, so they're kind of taking turns and then taking the cool down laps, going back to the paddock. Quite careful for Kevin Piskolti there. Cumbersome for Kevin Piskolti. All in all, This camera probably needs to be a little bit further, like to the direction where it's facing, because I think I can probably get that inside clip there quite easily otherwise. Their runs, and they are now having the second one in a row. Okay, it varies all the time how the cars are being sent. The last corner here, this corner complex is quite difficult to the last clip. You need to kind of handle the previous clip really nicely to have a correct line. If you shoot it too deep or too shallow, then you're gonna completely miss the speed towards this last corner. So kind of need to get that first left turn really turned in from a perfect location. So something to keep an eye on. Who do we have next? It's in the lead. It's Teemu Asunmaa. Chase. Is it Dio Correa? Yes. That's it. And now we are ready here. Solo runs. Have a little bit of a something going on in there. Okay, we will take the next guy already because nope. Drifting for Itai Sade. Either David Sposov, what happened there, or was the track flagged? stopping drifting? Is it a coincidence or something wrong with the track? Harry Kerr in his first run. Start Marshall looking confused maybe. Are we looking at something at the track? I don't see anything. There's somebody running towards this corner, so something is there in the track, so this is what we are waiting. He's now running back. Don't know what that was. We see the guy in the screen here. No. Scooter rider also getting back from the track. Then we have actually two marshals here, and third to last clip still picking up some debris. Line up in the start line. So this remote link is not happy. No. Decent tandem run. Let's take a little bit of a replay of that just to enjoy it, and then we will of course move on to the next tandem or next runs. Harry Kerr. Okay, now we are swapping it all the way around. Are we making way for the cooldown lap runners, or I don't know. This is a little bit awkward, but what I meant with getting the last corners right. If you are too inside in that second to last corner, it's too hard to get it to the last clip and sideways, and then if you're too deep, you kind of lose all the speed in trying to get the car kind of back into the outside zone. first practice run, but it ended before the last 2 corners. Let's try to do a thing with the transmitter. Just put it 5 centimeters higher. It could sometimes make a difference. No, not. It is the most remote camera of these, but these transmitters should be doing just fine for that, but I don't know if there's interference or something. So Dave Egan in the lead, and is it now now the name is coming, the Norwegian young kid. Road, of course. So, Jean-Bonnet, I believe it's gonna be a solo run. Are we still okay? Yes, this is like while we are waiting this. There's something in this inside corner, or outside corner, I mean, outside of this last corner. And the fact is that you cannot put anybody really behind that concrete wall. Then there's this fence, and then because there are the high-speed cars coming downhill, you cannot put somebody waiting like there either, so they need to kind of run from that safe place to, you know, pick up any debris. And of course safety is always, I would say, especially here in Finland, safety is always the priority number one. And we are ready to go any second now. I don't see anything in the track anymore, but at least how I assume it works is, okay, there's a scooter in the main straight. So that's what we're waiting for. So I believe how it works is that every station needs to radio to the start line marshal that they are okay to go. So I think Jason had pretty good line into that last car. That was a good line. And it's Kevin Piscolti. It's like a solo run. That's what happens when you go too inside and need to kind of come up in the transition too early, and then you completely miss the outside zone there. That was a good line by Oliver Randalu. The start line camera is now gone. Okay. Now it's back. Oh, this is beauty of the live streaming stuff on your own. What is this power bank doing? It's like charging and not charging. Struggle is real.
Okay, steady.
closing to the halfway of this practice session. So this one is close to 3 hours. I think it is exactly 3 hours. And so is there a radio walkie-talkie traffic in my stream? That's interesting. What do they say? Oh, I guess that's also interesting. Yeah, there's questions if I'm doing all of this alone. Yes, this weekend again, all one-man show. You know, if there was more than me, there would have been somebody taking, you know, a look on those cameras that were at some point a little bit problematic or stuff like that. So, of course, but this is one-man show again. And it is Jakub Kroll and Diego Correa in the line. The radio, the walkie-talkie thing, that's like really something new. I haven't faced any of that before. Somebody mentioned the MLV podcast for the Finnish viewers. I was there being interviewed by the guys. Oh, I also managed to put in the Drift Chat ad that I have there. That's nice. Take all of the Drift Chat channels. Follow him in Instagram and also especially in his Discord. There's fantastic stuff there. Drift Chat. Actually, he's here in the Finnish race this weekend, and I'm actually accommodating him, riding in my car to the track. So that's awesome. He's a great guy. B. These practice groups are divided into 3 again, one A, B and C. As you can see, the lineup is really small, so they can have to do it in 2 groups, and I think it's been more of a rule this year that it's always in 3 groups, but we'll see the further races as well. For example, in Riga, where the lineup is so far away, and maybe they do 2 groups there, but we'll see. I think it's now some debris in the track after the finish line, waiting for the guy to get who picks that up, and now we get a little bit of a clouds there, which is fine. First clip quite tough for Ikai Sadeh there. And then there's Davis Posop and Oliver Randalo. The next one. If the clouds help with that second camera, I'm not. I don't feel bad about the clouds at all. So we're waiting. Waiting. Okay, I guess we are about to go any second now. I don't see any excess traffic on the track. What I wonder is that I haven't seen Jarkko Jylhä a lot. Basically into all directions from here, so as this is like a valley here, the wind blows from one direction and then it kind of circulates a bit here. Probably you cannot see it in the camera, but no. Probably not. But yeah, we are managing. So this is the Group B. Once again mentioning that, and then remember that the last group, Group C of this session, which will happen then after 12, will be the hot group, Group A, with all the top contenders of the series this year. So always interesting. Oliver Randalu and David Sposob again. Oliver Randalu in the lead. Zakoril and Itai Sade in the lead. Once more is most likely doing a solo run now, or is he? Yes. In the lead, Benediktas Chirba in the chase. Kevin Piscolti again. Should be a solo run? No, that's it is a run, yes. Thought it might have been okay. Biggest thing I'm challenging here is to pick those cars up from the corner of the long corner, or the last section of the long corner, because the cars are really, it doesn't, by the naked eye, it doesn't look like it's smoke. It's not that much smoky there, but through the camera display it's a little bit different story. Somebody, Jakub Kroll here. They're doing proper looking tandem run. Well, at least the first part of it. What is causing this interference in these two cameras? Of course, they are quite far away, still within a line of sight, but it is a little bit annoying. But I don't know if there's like some other frequencies in this. Somebody else is transmitting. That might be a problem there. That is not a correct line from Mr. Harry Kerr to that corner. There are now some dance moves being performed in the start line. What's happening? Seems like the lead and chase are inverted, but oh, it's a solo run from Diego Correa, I believe. That is a long way. We're keeping it almost pinned after the first corner. Probably from right there, more or less, all the way here. Okay, we have Jarkko Jylhä back. Harry Kerr now, the chase line. Not sure if he's gonna be joining Jarkko or not. He interrupted his run for the last corner a second ago. And Jarkko Jylhä. And they're going. Now it's Kuba Kroll and Jarkko Jylhä. Having a little bit of a separation there in the entry, not a close tandem. Rode solo run. And all of a sudden start line is almost empty. It is empty, and the reason is that the session is over now. And we see that there is a lonely rear bumper of Espen Rode's car in the middle of the track to kind of conclude all of this practice group. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the lineups is already developing there. We see Piotr Vienczek, we see Kuba Bryskonski, Mika Keskikorpi, Juha Rintanen, Connor Shanahan, Jack Shanahan, James Dean, all the top dogs of Drift Masters 2026. Ain't that a beautiful sight? Haven't been able to comment much about how the drivers have been performing. It's been it's a long track, and all of this camera hassle has really kept me busy, so sorry about that. And all the comments about that it is a pity that there is no last jump there that they shortened the track. I am really thinking the same. Think they could have maybe, if they had this last clip of the track, so that it is in the Finnish Championship, so it's kind of looping back towards those signs that are now there on the track. I think it would have been better that way. Like if there is no jump, then that way, but then all of the concrete and everything was set up already, and I think that way also the pit traffic would have been maybe a little bit easier or more fluent, because now when we have like a whole track and there is no like a cut point in the track, then you need always to have that extra. Okay, there is a cool down lap, which is probably good for the cars anyway, but if it looked back, you know, there is the gap like right in the top of that Red Bull can add there. The cars could have gone back there to the paddock, and then, but yeah, it is what it is. Especially from here, I can do very little about it. So let's enjoy what we have. Some interesting. Well, basically every driver is now driving the first time here. I think Mika Keskikorpi also had some experience here, but majority of the top guys have not really been driving here, so it's gonna be super interesting. Super interesting to see how they perform. Maybe at this point I also want to remind that click that like button if you like this stream or any of the other streams. That's actually helping all the other people to find my channel and find my streams, and that is helping me to do more of this. Of course, it is now at the moment basically the YouTube income that keeps me and this operation alive. It's been pretty nice this year, and all of the money that I've made has been put back into this hobby and into this operation. So there is many things that I have needed to already renew, like some cameras and stuff. So it is quite hard for the gear to tour them around the Europe, have them in the backpack all the time, and yeah, it takes some wear and tear. And I kind of try my best. Well, I'm not kinda. I try always my absolute best to make it as good as possible. But for example, here, you know, all the cameras and stuff, it looked really nice in the beginning. But then, if there is for example, some interferences, there is not probably that much of a walkie-talkie transmitting when it's not the practice session going on. It's also really hard for me to define like where does it come from which camera. There in those transmitters there are channels that can be changed, but then again that would need to be known that which channel I will change to which. What else? Yeah, subscribe to the channel. We are on the quest of, or I am in the quest of achieving 10,000 subscribers this season, and there's going to be one of the Rollinrudi caps being raffled to one lucky winner. I already developed like a little bit of a game to make that happen. So that is something to notice. What else? There's also a possibility to join as a support member It's $2.99 per month. It happens in YouTube. There's instructions, and it gains you an access to a WhatsApp group. It's already, I think it was 79 or 80 people there now, and it's been steadily increasing, and it's a very nice community of people. And in addition to chat, what's obviously happening in WhatsApp, it's also I post things from these race trips, everything what I see that is not suitable or good for any other social media or YouTube, I will then post there. So it is like an extension. I always say that I'm your eyes and ears in these events, so like an extension for that. So not mandatory, everything crucial will be free in this channel anyway, but it is your choice if you want to support. Also there is, if you go to Rollinrudi.fi, that's a launch page where you have some links to my other social medias like Instagram. That's been one of my missions this year, that I've been more active in Instagram. Also there is something later this season, I haven't informed yet, but there is something special coming mostly to Instagram. Again, being like an extension to all of this what I do. Facebook, I'm not really active there, but I have an account there as well. And also there's a link to a merch shop if you are by any chance interested in purchasing a cap or a t-shirt or whatnot. It is possible. So after that little commercial break, we are ready to move on to Group C of this practice. How does our camera situation look like? It looks that we have all cameras online. Hopefully it will not get any worse. A little bit of a pixelation for the reason I don't really know yet, but let's see. Kuba Byrskonski and Juha Rintanen, the first drivers in this group. Practice 1, Group C. And we have about exactly 1 hour of this section left. And that burnout box action was actually, that you probably heard, from Piotr Wiancek, so he's next. I believe it's either Mika Keskikorpi or Connor Shanahan joining him. So, any second now. We have the guys who are enhancing the clipping boxes there. Oh, that's interesting. They actually changed the last clip a little bit. Let's see what that means. Hometown boy, he has been hugely affecting into the design of this track, so he's maybe one of the drivers who probably has a little bit of an advantage here, but I don't. After these practice sessions, it's probably kind of leveled out already, so. So Piotr Wiancek on a solo run. Juha and Kuba Berskonski the second run. It's gonna be a tandem. Once again. I have my suspicion that if there is the radio traffic, you're hearing that, it's maybe this camera, which is my camera number 2. I will then I'll try to take that volume really down. Let's see. Let me know if that did anything. Just do 3 runs. Let me know if you counted. I think he did two runs with Juha Rintanen, and then he did 1 solo run. Maybe to kind of find out whether you can do 3 laps with the tire or not, but interesting. Jack Shanahan in trouble on the second to last corner. Straightens out. James Dean and John McKeever. James Dean in his Mustang. interesting pairing here. Kevin Pesur, Nicolas Bertans, aka Nick Nack. And then soon after them we have seen Lauri Heinonen in the burnout box, so I'm pretty sure that quite many of the followers of this stream are quite interested to see how will Lauri perform in his first ever laps in Ahvenisto. Start line we have Lauri Heinonen, Pavel Korpulinski. So this is gonna be super interesting. Hopefully I will get my camera somewhere correct. Yes. Not a bad one from Lauri. And then again, other way around, Pavel Korpulinski, Lauri Heinonen. Let's see if Lauri will already hit it to the door, for example. For sure, yes. full set of Group C drivers. It is Juha Rintanen and Kuba Brzkonski all over again. That it kind of shows that if you have been involved in the track development, because I think Juha has on those 2 runs or a couple of runs, he has been pretty well hitting at least the last section of the track. Keskikorpi and Kuba Brzkonski again. Kuba is actually running 3 runs in a row. Let's see how he can keep up with Mika in a used tire. Quite well. And then once again 2 Irishmen, wonderful guys, James Dean, John McKeever. Let's see how they perform in their second set of tires. Keskikorpi will be left out of a pair there because Kuba Brzkonski for sure doesn't have tires for 4 runs. That was an example of how to not take the last corner a little bit too deep, then too shallow, and that's about it. Are enjoying themselves for sure. Very nice tandem driving from the beginning, and enjoy the watch, both of them for sure. Now it is Nick Knock and Nasser Al-Harlali. No, it's Kevin Bessour. Nasser Al-Harbali, Kevin Pesur there, and we have Pavel Korpulinski once more. Then we have smoothly knick-knack in a solo run. Waiting for a partner in a dance. So we didn't see Lauri Heinonen again. I think now we will see a tandem run of Mikak and Kuba Bruskonski. And then interesting is to see if Kuba Bruskonski will... Okay, he's going actually into the lead line, so this will be a solo run. Car looks it's so super grippy. You need to get that final two corners line like absolutely perfect with that, so that you don't end up being in trouble. Then Kuba Bruskonski, another solo run from him. Shallow angle there. I think that's due to this tremendous speed. A little bit challenges in taking the last two corners as well. We need to be quite accurate in that section. Salvi, Mika Keskikorpi. They run. And I guess Kuba Bruskonski is doing 3 runs. It's been actually super active practice driver, and Mika is doing his solo run there. literally sending cars one after another. There's like 3 solo runs in a row. We have Lauri Heinonen joining in the burnout box there. And could be that we will have with James Dean. We'll get some Jack Shanahan. I would say, no, that was actually Connor Shanahan. Surprising difficulties in the last 2 corners. But we will see. It's going to be James Dean, Lauri Heinonen matchup after these guys, I believe. So it is Juha Rintanen, Connor Shanahan. Let's see how it goes other way around. Part of it again. Now we have some cool down lap doers there before Lauri and James. There was a little bit too inside line. Oh, it's actually not a cool down lap. It's Fyodor Vienchek and Don McKeever. My God. Ireland versus Finland. Of course, this is not a battle yet, but a tandem run, hopefully. Camera was available. Let's take that one because I think did James touch that fence there or not? That was at least really close. No, it was not that close. Okay. Now it is, I think, Pavel Korpulinski. By the looks of it, it's a solo run. Guys are going third time. Oh, we like that. There was some proper noises. Lauri Heinonen and James Dean. It's amazing with these guys how secure it looks. Brzezinski again, doing a lot of laps, putting in a lot of laps. I think he's gonna do his solo run next, maybe. Okay, it is Connor Falvey also putting himself into the lead line there. Back in the paddock and now, so we can go. Same thing. Still a young kid from Ireland, just turned 18, but already I think it is at least third season in Drift Masters for him. Not bad line through the two last corners. We have then Mika Keskikorpi in the burnout box, just finished warming up the tires. Connor Falvey is likely doing a solo run again. Falvey will join actually Kuba Brzezinski on this one or not. Figures there. His cool down lap. anything from my camera display now. Very, very weird. Because why not? Kevin Pesur and Jack Shanahan now. We have Nick Knack waiting in the lead line there. And Jack Shanahan following him, doing the same thing. And Kevin Pesur then waiting for a tandem with Jack Shanahan. But first, Nick Knack and a solo run. We are, I think this will be 8 minutes left of this session now. I think it was 10 to 1 p.m. local time when this is supposed to end. And then after that I'm gonna go and do some tricks to the cameras. I'll tell about those when this is over. Happened there. Lauri Heinonen's car has stopped there. Unfortunately, we will take another look on that. There, everything okay, and in the flick, still okay, going on to drive here, but then it just shuts down. Unfortunately, I don't hear the car running. Not an ideal start for the weekend. Maybe they are just towing it without putting it on the flatbed. Not 100% sure, but the tow truck is here. Well, I guess we Finns, we didn't want to see this. kind of end for Lauri's practice. Okay, until we get we continue, but this should be taken care of in no time. In the start line we have Nick Nack waiting for a solo run. We have James Dean waiting to be able to go to the burnout box. I think they are now being told not to yet start warming up tires before we know how this goes. I'm gonna put on some sunscreen because it's sunny in here, which is nice. It's anyway a good sign that it's been just towed, not put onto the flatbed. But what do we know until we know? Let's move the camera on the start line then, because Lauri's car towed away. We are not seeing any fluids on the track, so that is a good positive. And I think they need to now tow it around the track. Why don't I show it to you, because that's the only thing that is actually happening on the track as we speak. There. Okay, I'll tell about this camera then. I think it is really a bandwidth issue on this wireless link in a way, because it seems that when you get like lots of audio and the car's moving there, it seems that only then it starts to be choppy and pixelating. So I think I'm gonna go there, and in the camera I will turn the volume down, so at least it doesn't then try to transmit all of the audio. So that's what I'm gonna try with this camera during the break. And for the other camera, this one, I actually gonna try to put this further into the corner, like towards where we are facing it right now. So because this inside clip here, they just passed, I can take it with this. Well, you technically see it in this camera right there, so I don't need to be able to show like absolute everything from that corner. So I think if we push this a little bit forward, it would maybe help. And we have some action in the track again. Good stuff. minute away of this ending officially, but let's see if they give any extra minutes for the guys, because these delays, that will be seen. Kuba Brzkonski and Nasser Al-Harbali. The lineup is empty now, so it is the tracks that are now on track are the last tracks that are gonna do any runs. We have Mika there. Let's see if they will be given permission to do one more run. Kuba Brzkonski, Nasser Al-Harbali. Okay. Maybe an oil change at this point, or was the hood just badly attached? Don't know. Is being held back there in the start line. Don't know why. Do we have still Mika Keskikorpi? Yes. Doing one more. And we like to see that. I think Kuba vanished, he is back to the paddock. We have Nasser, is it gonna be another round for him? Yes, one more lead. So guys, it is over. Did we learn something from this session? Probably yes. Hopefully the drivers learned something. The next practice session will be on, I believe, in a little bit over 1 hour, 2 o'clock. And you will be able to see it on this very channel. I'll try to do all of my tricks and for the cameras, and we will see then how that plays out. Thank you for watching this one, the first one from Finland. I think previously in Finnish round this additional practice day has been open for audience, but I hope that I can at least offer you something and some feelings about the atmosphere and the practice session here. Yeah, one more session to come today, and it will be almost 4 hours. I think it's gonna be 70 minutes per group, starting again from groups A, B and C, and we will have some action until 6 o'clock, or I think it was 10 to 6, but anyway, almost 4 hours. So thank you for this, and we will see you in a little bit over an hour, or probably a little bit less than an hour, because if I start the stream earlier. So thank you guys for watching. Like the content, subscribe to the channel, do all the good YouTube stuff, whatever it is, and see you soon. Thank you, bye.